Hello everyone, welcome to the Purple Couch. I am Camryn Gales, and today we have a good friend of mine as our guest. Say hello to one of my favorite bartenders, Nicole.
Hey,
thank you for being here, Nicole.
thanks for having me.
So, can you tell me how you got into your bartending career?
It was actually a little bit of an accident. I was working in the restaurant industry during college, and I was working at this restaurant called Tartine Manufactory when they first opened up. And so I was just hosting and serving at the time, and one day while I was hosting, my manager asked, "Hey Nicole, do you want to learn how to barback?" And so I said, yeah, I'll try anything once, you know, and I quickly grew to love it, and within a year I showed an interest, and I was, bartending after that.
Okay, cool. So I know COVID put a strain on all of our careers. For bartenders and servers, I feel like there was even more of a strain just because restaurants were closed still a little bit after we opened everything up. So what did you go through with COVID and being a bartender, and how did you get out of that?
Well, it really sucked. I mean, obviously, but I had just finished a year at probably one of my favorite jobs ever. I thought I landed my dream job, and I was bartending at the Virgin Hotel in downtown San Francisco. And yeah, literally the day after lockdown, like, that was like year one for me, but it was great pay, it was like amazing people, and I really thought I found my dream bartending job. So yeah, it was really disheartening when everything had to shut down, and I don't think the hotel's gonna open up anymore. But I mean, I guess the only silver lining I would say is that it gave me a chance to kind of like reel back and not attach my personality so much to my job.
Right.
Because a lot that can happen, I imagine, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's nice to kind of take a step back, and I mean, I'm at a great job now that I just started about a month ago, so yeah.
Yeah, and then you also were able to venture into your lumpia business. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I got bored. I wanted something to do. I wanted to be resourceful, so I started my own lumpia company, so I would do deliveries and pickup. And yeah, the way it started was I was just doing it for free for friends' birthdays and stuff, and everyone was talking about how much they liked it, so I was like, maybe I should start a business with it.
Yeah, I'm like, they're really good. I love them.
Yeah, thank you.
So back to bartending. What do you love so much about bartending?
There's always something new to learn. There's like a never-ending wealth of knowledge that you can learn from other people as well. There's always like different books coming out with, you know, that progress over time. Also, I could essentially work anywhere in the world. I could take this job anywhere.
You always need a bartender anywhere.
If, you know, like, people drink when they're happy, people drink when they're sad. So there's always a spot for me, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. So what makes someone a good or a bad bartender? What makes a quality drink?
I think there's not really a good or a bad bartender. I feel like people just have different skill sets for whatever bar they work at, because there's a ton of different bars. There's like nicer ones, there's dives. But I feel like I can comment on what makes a good drink, and I think a good drink is well balanced at its core.
Okay. So whenever I'm at the club, I always see bartenders, they're always frantic. How do you deal with your rush? I know you work at a restaurant, so maybe it isn't that bad, but I know you've also worked in clubs, so how do you deal with that rush?
I just prioritize. I always make sure I'm prepared, like I have everything fully stocked, because that's the worst when you're, you know, weeded out and, you know, you don't have your set placements. But yeah, making sure I'm always prepared. I always prioritize. Sometimes, you know, I'll double up on things. I also communicate with my other bartenders if they need anything, so the work kind of gets evenly split. But yeah, and also putting out my glassware. If I have like 10 drinks to do, I'll put out my glassware first, so I know, like, basically down the line what I'm doing.
Yeah. And about customers, do you stop serving them when they're too drunk? How do you deal with those overly like drunk people?
Yeah, I mean, it does happen, but at the end of the day, at least how funny enough, I kind of treat them like a toddler.
Yeah.
I don't serve them. I talk to them in a nice way, but I'll offer them water, and sometimes I'll challenge them, like, okay, if you could drink this, come back to me in 20 minutes, like, with water. And usually they don't come back. Like, after the water, they're, like, done.
Yeah.
But as a bartender, you can be held liable. For example, if you overserve someone, they decide to go drive drunk, and if they crash or, like, kill somebody, I could personally be held liable.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It
so
seems risky.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a risk, but that's also like that's just like basic safety.
Right.
Like
No, yeah, when you see someone that's, you know,
inebriated.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you have any interesting stories about customers?
I mean, I see so many people. Like, I've been bartending for 5 years, so there's a lot of different people. But I think what's interesting is I have gotten to meet like a handful of celebrities, so that's been fun. Alicia Silverstone, who was the main chick in Clueless. Dave Chappelle, Tori Moy. Yeah, so that's always fun.
Yeah.
And like always like finding out what they like to drink.
Right.
But yeah.
That's cool. So, do you have any advice for new bartenders or anybody who's aspiring to be a bartender?
I would say do it without ego. Just be willing and ready to learn. You know, it is not for everyone. I will say that. You have to have like a certain amount of like patience. And I find that the most successful bartenders actually like what they do.
Right.
Like they actually have like a passion towards it. So yeah, that would be, oh, and read a lot of books. Yeah.
Well, cool. Thank you for being here, Nicole.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to the Purple Couch. We'll see you next time. Bye.